Bruce's big call. Dinar Intel Tuesday night, the 5th of August 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Transcribed by Wiser, now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call. It is Tuesday, August the 5th, and you're listening to the big call. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you're located, all over the globe. As a result of our satellite team, we get this thing allowed. We're gonna have a really good call tonight. Thanks for coming in and being part of it. Let's see what we have in the way of intel to talk about tonight. What's really good about yesterday was the beginnings, the first fruits. The activation of Nasara and Gesera started. We are underway with it, and it's like one aspect of it. It's not the whole thing yet. It's going to be a slow rollout of Nasara, but I think it's important to know that it has been activated. The other thing is, we've been looking for these tariff rebate deposits and our tariff rebate checks, and today, President Trump said they're thinking about putting out dividend checks to everybody. So now we've got another name for these, which is a dividend check. And I think it's a dividend that's coming from the savings and from tariffs and from the amount of money that's coming in. He said, I want the American public to share in this. I want the American public to have a dividend of what's going on from their trade and the tariffs that are being generated. And he said, not just billions, trillions of dollars are being generated in these tariffs and trade deals. So I'm very impressed with that. It's excellent for us. So even though we had been told that Doge, we call them Doge checks at the time, they were changed to tariff rebate checks and tariff direct deposits, or to have started August 1st, 2nd, 3rd. No one that I know of has received anything yet, so it sounds like they were held off for a day or two. Maybe they start up this week. We just don't have absolute on it. We've tried to find out, and it's hard to find that out in terms of normal intel. We've got some good information, but I'm going to tell you now, the redemption centers do not have rates on their screens, even yet today, and the banks yesterday. And I can only assume it might be as well as today, but yesterday, they did have rates. I did get a dinar rate and a dong rate that were very good. These were at banks, and I can tell you, really good. But the rate at the redemption centers will be even better. And so I'm going to say you want to make sure that you use the toll-free number when made available to you. Or you get your email from Wells Fargo to set your appointments at the redemption center. You will get the very best deal. I told you that the contract rate on dinar, it's a contract that was made between United States and Iraq. President Trump wants us to get the highest available rate we could get. So you're not going to get it at the bank. You will only get it at the redemption center. Now the funny thing is, let's see. Yesterday at the banks, we also had new currencies that came up, and some of the currencies that, well, let me put it this way. This was at the redemption center yesterday that some currencies, like the Venezuelan bolivar, was on the screen. There's another currency of the Bolivian boliviano. Boliviano is Bolivia's currency. It was on the screen. There are a number of currencies that really are obscure, that are on there now. Plus, don't forget the Afghani and the dinar and the dong and the rupiah, all of those are on there. And of course, the ZIM is staying running in there at $1, so that's great. Okay, what was on the screens at the redemption center today? Since no rates were up, how about a crawler at the bottom of the screen that said to look for the start for us to be within the next 48 hours? Now, maybe that means we get notified. Maybe notified by Thursday. But it looks like we could be looking good for something to happen in terms of notifications. And exchanges to start still this week. Today's Tuesday, maybe it's a Wednesday, Thursday, maybe it's a Thursday, Friday, but it should be this week. We've heard that from a few other resources, and I feel like that's making me feel much more comfortable about where we are. So this is really what it is we're looking for. I know it's about dates and rates, guys. It's all it always has been, but there's a lot more to it. Let me tell you another thing. This is something I found out yesterday, and this came from a Wells Fargo redemption center person. Remember we talked about it'd be great if you had a trust already made out. And you have a trust name and umbrella trust you bid for your exchange. You don't have to have one, but if you do, great, go in and put everything in the name of your trust. The other piece of that is they would like you to set up your trust within 30 days of your exchange. They do want that. So if you don't have a trust, don't sweat it. Just go in, do your exchange, redeem your ZIM, put it in the Quantum account where it belongs, and move some money into your primary Wells account. But go about getting up with your estate planning attorney, your trust attorney, and they'll help provide you one. If you don't have one, or you don't know where to start, they want you to have a trust in place within 30 days, that's official. The other thing is, there was something out there online about the exchanges are to be complete by the 10th of August. Well, let's see. Don't think so. That's just plain not true. Today is the 5th, we're not starting until the minimum we start is either tomorrow or Thursday at the late at the quickest. So they're not going to be done in 3 or 4 days. No way, Jose. We will go all the way through. Some redemption centers will close in as little as 9 days. Some redemption centers will go 2 weeks. And some, if the demographics support it, and if there's enough desire to set appointments, they'll be open for a month. Now, they don't necessarily want to be open that long, but they will be open as long as they need to get all the ZIM in and get all the currency and get everybody taken care of, okay? And then when all the redemption centers close, it's up to the tier 1 banks to try to fill in on certain currencies that might be from the public. Let's call the public, but he doesn't, God forbid, listen to the big call, because I know a lot of people listen, and a lot of people will share information with people that don't listen. We always have new listeners to come in. Well, I just heard about this a month ago, or 2 months ago. Or I just followed the big call, but I've only been listening for 2 or 3 months. Well, we're leaving the light on for you. Keep coming. Come on in, the water's fine. Important to see, guys, that those of you in Big Call universe that have been with us for 14 years, you know more about this than the bankers do. You know more about this than most of the redemption center do, but, you got to be careful what you read out there. You can't take it just because it's in print, doesn't make it gospel. Oakland, Trevor, Frederick, really, you think about it, we do get good information. Yes, is it always right all the time? No. As our timing? Our timeline always correct? No, because guys, we've been since for a long time. I've seen a lot of things happen, but I'm ready to go just like you are. I'm more than ready. I'm ready to get this exchange done and jump into the med bed as shortly a time frame as I can, because we're doing some things, and we're getting started with sort of a little fam trip. Fam is short familiarization, a little fam trip in North Carolina, primarily Western North Carolina, and we're making contacts for it. We're setting up opportunities to meet with some people that are already there and it plans to be there. So that's really good. I appreciate the information. The people that have written in and told us, they listen, they call, and they're interested in getting with us. So that'll be good. It's not what the med beds can do for you. The question really is, what can't they do? That's valid question, because that was posed to me a long time ago, and I thought, wow, that's true. I mean, we have people that have seen these in action with proper authority of the military, and have seen a person with no arm and no leg be completely healed totally in 33 minutes and walking around after being helped out of the med bed. That's pretty amazing. I mean, new leg, new foot, new arm, new hand, all of that is all possible and more than that. So I'm very excited, personally, to get into that event myself shortly after I exchange, I hope, and I've been assured that I can do that. Looking forward to that. So do that, because you're just not going to believe what is possible in the minutes, and to be able to utilize that for people with dire need and people that have ZIM have priority. They did that several times. So if you've got dire need and you're a ZIM holder, they want you to be around for a long time lifespan, so that you could see your projects through fruition. That's really important. Okay, that's what I wanted to say to them, guys. Are we looking good for the next couple of days? It looks like it. Let's see what happens. I know a lot of things are happening. We will get on the screens. And so I think they're waiting for a final move to put the actually. So we're gonna have on screens ahead. And thank everybody. Thanks Sue Job as always, and for Bob excellent, always fun. And thank you, GCK, for all of your artwork. And Jeannie for your continued support and prayer, and for Pastor Scott continued healing everybody that had prayer requests. May you all be fully healed in Jesus' name. And thank you for listening. And thank you Team Satellite Team for getting the call out all over the globe. And thank you Big Call Universe for listening to the Big Call. For some of you, up to 14 years since I've had this call. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and pray us out, and then we'll turn off the recording. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: DinarRecaps.com.